Ooh, that's a good one, man.
I don't even have an answer, to be honest with you.
Other mistakes I make, and this is a big one because I'm still I still do this, and that's overthinking it.
Man, welcome back to the Content Bebop podcast. The podcast that's about helping artists make money and helping them thrive. You know.
Thank you for having me back. It's been a minute.
It's been a
hot minute.
Long minute. I'm glad you came back, man. My favorite cosplay photographer.
Thank you.
The only one that I know, Mark Leary. Tell us who you are, man.
Jesus Christ. Thank you. I'm surprised you only still know one cosplay photographer.
It's a small world out there for y'all.
I guess so.
But big world out.
I don't know. But hey, I'm Mark Leary. Y'all remember me from such amazing podcasts as we literally did this one before. No, I'm joking.
We had it again 1 year later, you know?
I do a little YouTube channel called Blerdography where I do cosplay photography stuff sometimes, and I talk about geek stuff sometimes, and I do my own little podcast interviews with other creatives in the nerd and blurred space. I've had my good buddy on a couple of times too. He's helped me out a lot. Thank you so much. Like,
brother, of course.
Like, no, seriously, thank you. Like, I cannot have done all that stuff we've done in the past without your help. You've been...
Hey, man, I'm glad I could help, brother.
Yeah, you're just a good, consistent motivator, and, you know, as long as you're doing something you're passionate about, you a good team player, good motivator. So appreciate it.
Of course. So let's talk today about cosplay photography, because I don't think a lot of people are really, like, familiar with cosplay photography. Like, I mean, they may be, but they don't know, like, the depths of it, especially not to the depths that you know, because how long have you been doing it now?
That is a good question, because, like, when did I initially was never a cosplay photographer. I guess I've been doing the cosplay part of it since about 8 years or so now, 2016, 2017, I want to say. Started with Black Geeks to Dragoncon photo shoot, and kind of just been going at it since then. Man, Dragoncon last year was amazing. Again, links will probably be in this description of this video, but go check out my Dragoncon 2023 stuff. It was an amazing year. Getting the recognition that I got from the other people in the blurred community and content creator community, then recognizing the accomplishments that I've achieved, which kind of weird saying that because I don't feel like I've achieved anything, but
don't say that. Aren't you the Dragoncon photographer for the blurred shoot?
I'm one of them. They rotate every year. So I was the head photographer for last year's shoot and the 2021 shoot, and I do other shoots during Dragoncon and Momocon and things like that. But yeah, last year was like really big for me. Last year was like unbelievable. I can't believe it.
Okay. Tell us where you started, man. How'd you get started in this?
I got started because of you, actually.
Okay.
You know the story. 2014, you did that open day photo shoot thing, and you invited me to come out and just help you out. And I just happened to pick up a camera and just started shooting, and kind of fell in love with the idea of like using light to paint a photograph and like engaging with people in front of the camera and getting them to emote in certain ways and just making that connection. That weekend had a big impact on me, and I've been keeping with the photography thing ever since then. And since then, dabbled in video work, started the whole YouTube channel thing, grew my photography business, got my own clientele. It's been an ever-growing process, and here we are, literally almost 10 years to the day. That was like November 2014, something like that.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. So I owe a lot of me being where I'm at to you. Just you being there, motivating me, exposing me to just different things that I didn't think I would be interested in, and here we are.
Man, I'm glad I could help.
Yeah.
All right. I got a list of questions.
No, go for it.
So what attracted you to cosplay photography? Because I'm not a cosplay photographer, so you didn't get that from me.
No,
What
you're right.
attracted you to cosplay?
Well, You know me. You know me for a very long time. I've been a huge geek. Obviously, I'm rocking like my Marvel hoodie right now. I'm a huge geek. Prior to ever picking up a camera, going to conventions, finding cosplayers and just geeking out and just being enamored with the craftsmanship that goes into what they put into their cosplays and their costumes. Just being a huge geek in general. Like I love Power Rangers, I love Marvel, MCU, all that stuff. It just kind of makes sense. Like, hey, you love geek stuff and you do all this geek stuff every year for fun, poops and giggles anyway. Bring your camera, start documenting some of the things you do, learn how to take better pictures. I literally learned how to do photography by just practicing on cosplayers and little girls in costumes and stuff from clients. And I just kind of fell in love with it. It reminded me, you remember back in high school, we did art classes and we had to like keep sketchbooks and stuff like that. That's what like photography reminds me of, like that time when we was back in art school, or for me when I was in in high school, and for me when I was in art school, Art Institute of Atlanta, having to keep sketchbooks and like constantly honing your craft and things like that. That's what learning photography and that whole process was like for me. So it just made sense to combine. You really love being artsy fartsy and being creative and doing photography, and you love interacting with geeks and other nerds and things like that. You feel like you're in your element there. Just combine the two, cosplay photography. It just seemed like one of those epiphany type of moments when you like go back and think about all the things you've done in your career and what you're good at. You're like, I could just do cosplay photography. It makes so much sense.
No, I feel you. Yeah, no, it makes sense. That actually works. So what kind of gear do you find most popular? Like, not most popular, like what gear is the most important to you as a cosplay photographer? Because I'm trying to find like a good entry or barrier for somebody else that may be interested in cosplay photography. Like, do you use a lot of equipment? Does it take a lot? Like, is it very minimal?
This is the thing that I love about cosplay photography the most. Cosplay photography is just literally whatever you put at it. You can do high-end cosplay photography. You could do street cosplay photography. You could do family portraits. You can approach it any way that you would any other type of photo shoot. Like I would think of cosplay photography as like, I had this good analogy. I can't remember it at the top of my head. But it's so adaptive for every other style of photography. Because of the cosplay, because of the craftsmanship and the fashion that goes into it. You can shoot it high end. You can shoot it like, say, a wedding. You can, I've like done that. I've done like a cosplay photography wedding. It's amazing. Like cosplay lends itself to every single subclass of photography you can think of, and it just blends in and fits so well with it.
Oh, okay.
At least in my opinion. At least in my opinion.
I agree from what I see. You're right. But I mean, that also could apply to...
I mean, yeah, you can apply it to like a lot of other things. You can apply it to fashion, well, especially fashion, lifestyle, photography, things like that. But like, again, like you said, with gear, I do a lot of portraits. I do a lot of portrait photography. So I use a lot of like prime lenses and things like that. Though that's automatically great for cosplay photography because you're going to get nice, sharp images, like nifty 50s, closest to the human eye range. So, you just play around with it like that. And then even like with event photography stuff, because again, I cover cons, just cosplayers being in the background of photos or in the background of videos while you're interviewing someone, it makes for like a really interesting and creative aesthetic.
Okay. So is there anything that like differentiates cosplay photography from like portrait, or is it a combination of all those other things?
It's a combination of all those other things, but just me personally as the photographer being behind the camera, I feel like I can be more creative with a cosplayer than say if it's just a general portrait. Like if I'm doing corporate headshots, you're only gonna light it a certain way. You're not gonna, let's throw in some gels, let's throw in this and that and see what else can pop. It's just like corporate headshots is just kind of boring, right? They're always the same thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is with cosplay, I find it fascinating because even if you're shooting the same cosplayer, you can just throw your bag of tricks at it. You don't have to be limited to just cookie cutter shoots, which I personally hate cookie cutter style shoots, which is kind of like, unfortunately, just the big part of the business. You have a clientele, they want certain shots and things like that. You just do the same shots every time, and it's boring. It gets boring.
I feel we differentiate right on that part.
No, I feel you. I get, like, you like stuff that you can just bam, bam, bam. It's the same kind of across the board, and it's easy for you.
Yeah.
For me, that just gets boring over time. Like, I get bored shooting the same 2-3 light setup, Rembrandt shots. Like that gets creatively boring for me. That's all.
I understand. So we're based out of here in Atlanta. What events are you going to here in Atlanta or close by Atlanta that people can go to for cosplay?
We got time for this?
We got time, man. Let's go.
All right. So, 2024. In about 2 weeks, April 26th to the 28th, I will be at the Urban Nerd Con. That's the Urban Nerd Con. They are the first blurred specific, Black culture specific con here in Atlanta, which I know it's Atlanta. You would think we would have so many of them, but
yeah, that's true.
We only have one, and this is their first official year here in Atlanta. It's going to be great. They have so many Black excellent guests that are going to be there, from Tim Scott. You have Tim Reed. You have Cree Summer. You have Phil Lamar, and so many. Those are just the four off the top of my head because I've been like talking about those four just specifically. But so many other just Black people from geek culture, from Star Trek, from Star Wars, from the voice acting community. Just so many people across the board are going to be there, and I think that's going to be like a big highlight event for like Black nerds everywhere. So I'm really excited for that. And then in May, at the end of May, Memorial Day weekend is Momocon. One of my favorite cons to go to. I'll be doing press for that. You'll be there.
I will be there.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work too, because that's going to be crazy. But I will say they loved every single thing we did last year.
I'm glad they did.
Yes.
We did a lot.
Yeah, we did. But like from the questions we asked, and the amount of time we put in researching the questions, asking the guests the questions, to even me doing a video a day after the con, and then the vlogs and things like that, the photo shoot stuff, they were so happy Blerdography was there last year. So that was a big, big thing. Just hearing that and keep hearing that. So again, thank you. See, after Momocon in June is Ranger Stop and Pop Atlanta 2024. You know me, I love Power Rangers. That's my thing. And I also love supporting Black women who do business. So Nakia Baris and Karen Ashley, they run that con. That's their baby. And whatever they need me to help with, I'm going to just do it for the simple fact that they're Power Rangers. So that's going to be fun. After that is another Atlanta Comic Con. After that is Dragoncon, which is like the belle of the ball for the geek stuff in the South. I don't have to talk about Dragoncon too much. You're full aware of what Dragoncon is. If you don't, you need to get off from underneath that rock and explore life a little bit. Dragoncon is the con to go to.
It is, yes.
And then after that, AWA.
Is AWA the last one though?
Yes, AWA will be the last official one.
AWA has grown a lot. Did they move? Venues?
Yeah, this would be the first year they moved from the Cobb Galleria Center. They'll be at the I think they'll be at the Georgia World Congress Center this year.
Oh, they come up.
Well, there's a lot of controversy with that one, but that's for another.
What's the controversy?
Like they're banning alcohol. Or the whole reason why they're changing locations because the location, the venue didn't have alcohol anymore. You can't really have a con without alcohol. I'm sorry, you can't. And they got tired of people sneaking in stuff. It was just, people just got tired of it. So just like, screw it, we're just going to change the venue and not have to worry about it no more.
Has it been a thing? I'm sitting here thinking like Dragoncon, the rest of you can just walk around with, not walk around, but I mean, what do they mean by no alcohol?
So I guess the Cobb Galleria Center, completely different venue from where like Dragoncon, Momocon usually is. Different ownership and stuff like that, and different hotel ownership and things like that. I guess they just get tired of having to clean up everything. There's more controversy behind it, but that's just what I know off the top of my head without having to pull up my phone and research it some more.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, those are the events I'll be attending this year. If you want to come out and meet me, Blerdography, I'll be trust me, not hard to miss. You'll see me.
Sure they will. So how does somebody in this field getting started? They want to be a cosplay photographer. How does somebody go about starting? Like, what would you recommend they do?
Find a cosplayer and shoot them. It's just really as simple as that. Yeah.
Right. Nah,
no, I don't really know how else to explain it. Like, you just find somebody who's in cosplay and go shoot them and just have fun shooting them. But to be a little more specific, to give you, I guess, some insight on what I did, like you would any client, you need to go find where the clients are. So if you want to be specifically a cosplay photographer, where do cosplayers hang out at? Cosplayers hang out at conventions, right? So what I did for, like, say, the first 2 or 3 years of me wanting to be a cosplay photographer, I would go to these conventions. This was before I even started doing press. So I'm coming out of pocket, buying my badges, getting my hotel rooms, and just taking my camera, going out and just asking, not just doing, but just asking, hey, you mind if I take your picture? And you just start talking to people. Trust me, cosplayers want you to take their pictures.
They do. I've noticed that.
Just ask permission. That's all you got to do. Cosplay is not consent. So it's really just simple as that. Go to a con, ask permission, have fun.
So do you have like a system for like approaching people, like somebody you've never met? You just walk around with your camera at the con, at Dragoncon. Is there like a system you have for asking, or I'm trying not to? This is for people watching. It
no. I know.
And we tend to overthink things. You know what I mean? Because I already know your answer is going to be just walk up to them and ask. Take the picture.
It's going to be. But I get where you're coming from, because there is a mental component to it. Because trust me, it wasn't like I just had the courage to just go walk up to people. Obviously, I started with people who I already knew, who were cosplayers, my friends. That alone was big, because if they were happy with the photo shoots, which if they're your friends, they're going to just be happy to support you regardless. But then that led to them posting those pictures. Oh, who did your pictures? Oh, it was Mark Leary Photography. It was Blerdography. Word of mouth started going. Pretty soon, I didn't have to go approach people. People kept coming to me, begging me, hey, can you take my pictures? Can you take my pictures? How much for a photo shoot? That first time someone asked me how much for a photo shoot, I was like, I didn't even know I could make money doing cosplay photography. I'm literally out here just giving pictures for free. But no, like, people started approaching me, how much for a photo shoot? For 15, 20, 30 minutes, I came up with like a little small con price list, like $30 for like 15 minutes. And that started working. 2017, paid for my entire con with just cosplay photography shoots. I did spend the entire con doing cosplay photography shoots, and that started this whole chain of I go to these cons to work them and never to enjoy them ever again. But I'm glad I did that. That was a fun path to go down. But yes, to answer your question, it is a mental thing. You do have to kind of work yourself up, but that's like with anybody, with any type of clientele. You got to like mentally prepare yourself to project the confidence that you need to project in front of them for a potential client. And you need to be arrogant a little bit in your work. Be proud of it. Don't be afraid to show your work off. Don't be afraid to blast your work all over the internet, social media. Promote yourself. Never be afraid to promote yourself. Because otherwise nobody's going to know that you do anything if you don't talk about it. Yeah.
That's a fact. So, matter of fact, screw this question. So, what do you go about? How do you promote yourself?
Excuse me, that was nasty. So I have this YouTube channel called Blerdography. And that does a lot of self-promotion for me. But no, seriously, I don't really promote myself like I should be, like a normal business would. Most of my work comes from word of mouth. And I'm saying that as in, like, don't advertise or whatever. You should advertise. You should spend money behind advertising, Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever. But like word of mouth keeps me very busy during the con season alone, just because I have regular clients that come up to me, shoot with me every year, no questions asked. I automatically just book them every con. I know Momocon. I know I got the group from Jacksonville coming for Street Fighter. That's the shoot I do every year. I know I'm gonna do Avatar: The Last Airbender stuff at Dragoncon. That's a shoot I do every year. I'm actually gonna be doing that at Momocon this year. So that's because I showed up. They was like, "Why aren't you doing it?" And I was like, "I didn't even know they was doing Airbender stuff, but I'm gonna be doing it." So, Power Ranger shoot at Dragoncon. I'm gonna be doing that every year. So like, I just routinely do stuff, and like I just put out my content. I just let it know, hey, I do cosplay photography. Everybody knows I do cosplay photography. I am known for doing cosplay photography and being in the blurred space. So I just made myself known and visible within that space where I know the clients are. Because me and you kind of got into this last year about like, why do I wait to like post certain blogs and things like that?
Oh, yeah, I know what you
Yeah.
mean.
Well, I learned that for views and things like that, that matters to post that content soon after the con. But also, as long as I'm still posting that content, people see me actively doing cosplay photography or interviewing cosplayers or whatever it is, they're going to see that and they're going to like come up to me every year. Never fails. Somebody new comes up to me, somebody I've never met. They talk about my work like I'm their messiah or something. I'm like, this is weird because I have no clue who you are. I have no idea how you came across my work. But thank you. I appreciate it. That gives me hope.
Yeah.
And it helps me mentally because I'm always like, my work sucks. I don't understand why people like this, but people like it.
Yeah.
So
I've seen them.
Yeah. And then something you really helped me notice, like, it's hard for me to see because I'm in the moment, but when I go back and I edit the vlogs and I see how I am in those like photo shoots, like that Avatar shoot that one year you helped me with in 2021.
That was a good one.
I was like, who is that person? I do not recognize that person. That person is like nice. They're charismatic. They're not.
Yeah, you're right.
I was like, I do not recognize I smiled naturally. None of that stuff is stuff I just naturally do. So seeing me in my own element and was like put me in a whole different perspective of like what it is I do. And people feed off that. They feed off that energy.
They do.
They love those photo shoots. They love those photo shoots that I do at Dragoncon. And I love doing them.
So,
I hope that answered the question. I don't think it did.
I hope it did. If it didn't, goodness gracious.
Right.
So okay, newbies starting out. Like, what mistakes you see newbies making?
Just in profession in general, or specifically with cosplay photography?
Let's say specifically cosplay photography. Although I'm pretty sure it kind of goes across the board, but let's try to stick to the cosplay.
All right. The biggest mistake I see newbies make with cosplay photography is one, not asking for consent. That's the biggest thing. So many times at cons, and I get it because I've been a victim of doing this too, especially early on, where you will see cosplayers taking pictures and you just walk up, start stealing shots. That's not okay. Yeah, that's not really okay because that pisses off the cosplayer. Sorry for cussing. And that upsets the photographer who did ask for consent because you're stealing their shot essentially. So try not to do that. I've seen a lot of SA when it comes to cosplay photography.
What's SA?
Sexual assault.
Oh. Really?
Yes. Especially like at Dragoncon and Momocon where cosplay, first of all, cosplay is not consent. So just because a cosplayer is wearing something that is revealing and provocative doesn't mean you have the permission to go grope them, touch them, grind on them, do X, Y, and Z. I have seen people, and I see a lot of people do this, mainly guys. They get a camera and then they just start acting like horny bastards with female cosplayers.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. And they think because they have a camera, that's their way in. Don't get me wrong. If you have a camera, you will travel. I cannot express that enough. Since I've had a camera, you can contest to that. Just having a camera and look like you know what you're doing will get you in trouble. Will get you into some sticky situations that I don't think we can talk about on this podcast. I've definitely have been caught up in some stuff, but I had to remember, hey, this is the business, this is the line, don't cross that line. But having a camera and just knowing what you're doing will open up doors and opportunity for you and give a false sense of, oh, this person knows what they're doing. No, don't trust everybody with a camera. Like, and vet the people who have these cameras. Vet your photographers and videographers, because everybody ain't on the up and up. Just like that. Other mistakes I make, and this is a big one because I'm still I still do this, and that's overthinking it. That's being in your head. It's with anything in life, but especially when it's like, okay, time to edit these pictures, it's a lot. Time to get new clients, it's gonna be a lot. Just get out your head. Just do it. Oh, and practice. Constantly practice. Never stop ever practicing. Even if you master the technique, dust it off, practice it, and learn some new way to implement that same technique.
Like, what you mean practice? Like, what are you practicing?
Like practicing your techniques, your photographer's bag of tricks, practicing your lighting, your lighting, your Rembrandt, lighting, things like that. Your 1-point lighting, your 2-point lighting, your 3-point lighting, and just, again, like I said, learning new techniques, because like photography is so vast. Like, you can never truly ever master photography. I feel
that's true. The iPhone's got people spoiled. They think it makes it look so easy when you just press a button, but when you actually have to control the camera,
that's oh my God, that's an argument for another podcast video.
It is.
There. Oh, I just want to say, this is just a tangent. For those people who have iPhones who think what we do is so simple, please stop. Just like, that's my biggest pet peeve. Matter of fact, it's a disqualifier for me when clients come up to me and they, want to hire me for services and things like that. One question that I've noticed I'm getting a lot, how soon are we going to get the pictures? And I'm like, well, your contract says 2 to 3 weeks. That's how long I set for that. It usually shouldn't take that long, but if I have other projects and things like that, I want to give myself time. And then they'll instantly say, but I could just take these pictures with my iPhone. And I'm like, oh, well, you should definitely take your pictures with your iPhone. You have them instantaneously and ready for you. And you will save yourself a bunch of money. It's not hurting me. You're not hurting me.
I think
I could definitely find something else to do with that time. You taught me that, actually.
Did I?
Yeah, well, not inadvertently, but like, because, we talk about business and clients and stuff a lot. We've complained to each other about clientele and things like that. And I learned from you that everybody money ain't worth your time.
Oh, most definitely.
Everybody, like, it, for me, if I had to choose between working with a bad client or someone who's going to, like, irritate me and just sitting at home on my butt playing video games, that sitting at home on my butt playing video games time might be more valuable to me, because that's my time. That is my time. I don't get time to even do that stuff anymore. So if you're going to sit here and demean me or chastise me or belittle my craft, cool. Go do it. Please do it, because I will find something else to do with my time. I don't need your money. Since I started saying no to clients, I have never been more freed in my business, because I used to be bogged down. I got to get every single gig. I got to take every single dime. You're like, oh, you need to niche down. I'm like, but I can't niche down, because if I do, then I'm missing money from doing this and that. It's everybody money ain't worth your time.
No, it's not.
And I wish I had learned that lesson earlier on in this career than like a couple years ago.
I feel that's where we started, because it was like mistakes that newbies make. Right?
Yeah.
So we're coming full circle.
Right. Full circle.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right, man.
There you go.
That is so true.
That was a long way to answer that question.
No, but it was good though. All of that was good. Okay. So photography. Okay, why would I write this question so complicated? All right, photography, and especially cosplay photography in general, can become very easily. It can become like a hobby. So how do you go about balancing the creative and the fun aspects of it versus like the business? Like, because I've seen you on set, and I've seen people. Y'all seem like friends a lot of times, not client. But I mean, a good business relationship is like that. But I mean, how do you balance like, still I need my money? Hey, this shoot was supposed to last an hour. It's been an hour and 15 minutes now.
Ooh, yeah, because you gotten into the hubris of the stuff I still deal with and trying to figure out. So that's a really good question right there.
What you got answered so far?
Okay. Policies and procedures. Have those in place.
Yeah.
Like whenever you get to the point where you can like stand outside of your business and look into your business and see, okay, this is what I have in place for an hour shoot. This is what I have in place for this. Stick to those policies and procedures. Because this next thing I'm going to say is probably not going to make sense. Like, it's easy for clients to become friends. They, they're paying you money, and they, get all buddy with you. They think they can get extra stuff out of you by doing that. And sometimes, sometimes you, as the business owner, you got to sit there and like, hey, all right, I can do this, fine, whatever. I'd rather have you as a repeat client than the nickel and dime you for this and that. Some people need the nickel and dime because then they won't learn.
True that too.
Oh my God.
People will not learn.
They will not learn. I have this one client. Oh, you already know. I ain't going to get into it. You already know what I was going to say. I'm going to leave that one alone. Yeah. But yeah, stick to your policies and procedures. Stick to your guns. You're there to make money first, friends and family stuff second. You are the business owner. You decide what you are willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with, if that makes sense. So if you're on an hour shoot and the client is taking a little bit longer to get into the next outfit, make them aware that, hey, you're running into overtime. My contract says overtime. We're here for X, Y, and Z amount of time. I even give you 15-minute grace periods just because I'm a nice person. But if you start taking advantage of that stuff, I'm shutting it down. And contracts. Stick to your contracts.
Stick to contracts. Yeah, contracts. That's important.
The more detailed your contracts, the better. Like to the T. Put in overtime. Put in like to the second when you start charging overtime. I got 15 minutes over, automatic hour overtime charge. No exceptions. Even if we only end 30 minutes, you're getting charged an additional hour for going over. Because you could have just booked it extra time. That would have been a lot cheaper.
True.
Been a lot cheaper. And just explain everything, the processes and procedures to your clients in explicit detail. If you have 3 rounds of editing, let them know that there's 3 rounds of editing. I do X, Y, and Z in this round, X, Y, and Z in the second round. The third round is touch-ups, blah, blah, blah. And if I got to do this over the course of, say, 5,000 pictures, it's going to take longer than 2 weeks for you to get your pictures because it's a lot of stuff I got to do on my end. So just be communicative, let the client know what the processes and procedures are, and you stick to those processes and procedures. Stop giving away the house for free, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You covered a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I think if you were a newbie cosplay photographer, you'd have enough to go out there and get started with, information-wise.
Well, I do want to, because you did bring up that question. I don't think I really answered well the gear question.
What was? Oh yeah, no, you didn't. But
all right.
Drill. I asked like twice, but
no, you did. All right.
What you got?
So for the gear stuff, get you a DSLR, get you a good lens.
Right. What lens would you recommend somebody get?
I would start with the Nifty 50. It's cheap. It's $100. It's a good, nice prime lens. Is really sharp, and it's a good lens for portrait photography. It's a good lens for street photography. It's a good lens to just have as a run and gun shoot lens. It's lightweight. It really makes you think because it's a prime lens, so you got to think about focal length a lot. It's get you a nice 1.8 2.8 aperture lens. So you can get like nice bokeh effects and things like that. People love like creamy bokeh. Easiest thing in the world to do. But they love it. They see creamy backgrounds. They're like, oh, this picture look nice. And I'm like, cool. It's just a gimmick, but cool. All right. But yeah, just get you, that's all you need. Just DSLR lens, get you a 64 gig memory card, prime lens, couple of batteries, go ham. Enjoy yourself. Work your way up the lights, all that stuff. All you need just to start out is a camera, a lens, memory card. Go for it.
Camera, lens, memory card.
Yeah. Because we probably started with less, to be honest. I mean, well, you need those 3 basic things. Those are the 3 basic things you need. But like tripods. I'm a photographer. I have tripods. I don't use tripods. I practice. Yeah, it depends on what you're shooting. Depends on your steady hand and how you shoot. You don't always need tripods. You don't need you do need lights, but that's more or less knowing what you're shooting and where you're shooting it at.
Right.
But like if you just want to go out to a con, most cons have like outdoor like spaces where you can go out and shoot. Natural light is free. The best free light you can get is the sun, unless it's during an eclipse. I'm still, the eclipse was yesterday, the other day, so I'm still got that on my mind. But yeah, that's all you need. That's all you need, and then you just build up from there.
Okay, all right. Now I think everybody has what they need knowledge-wise to get started as a cosplay photographer. Moving on, just briefly tell us. You said you have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
Tell us about the YouTube channel, real quickly though, because we're gonna have another episode. We talk just about YouTube and your YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
Just real quick, tell us about it.
So I have a channel called Blerdography. That's blurred and ography, like photography.
Complicated name. Wow.
I don't think it's complicated.
You don't think so?
No,
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either.
I think people just
think it's complicated.
Yeah, I don't think people are great spellers in general, and they just hear it and they're like, oh, well, I never heard that word before. I don't know how to sound out and spell.
Yeah, I get that a lot. But surprisingly, people get tripped up over the blurred part, not the ography part.
Oh, really?
It's the blurred part that get tripped up over. Like, what is a blur? Oh, I didn't get blurred meant black nerd. I'm like, really? All right.
Are these black people saying these things? Or?
Yes.
Oh. Hey, man, I didn't really know what a blur was till
me. Okay.
You, but still, I could see how somebody may not.
Okay, I get it. But anyway, I have a channel called Blerdography. It's a channel I created to highlight black nerds in the blurred space and the blurred community. It's a place where you can see yourself if you are a person of color or a black nerd and you want to see more people of color and more black nerds who cosplay and who are into geek culture and who are just as big as nerd as you are. I created a channel so we can all get together and just talk about stuff. Plus, it's a lot of me being egotistical and like nerding out to just stuff I like Power Rangers, Avatar, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And you tied into like your business, your cosplay stuff.
Yeah, I tied into my cosplay stuff. I do shoots with cosplayers. I tried to give tips and things like that. I'm still working on like how to get all the educational stuff out the way. But I am working on more educational content.
I think you need more of that.
Yeah. But I mainly highlight going to cons and highlighting black cosplayers and people of color at these cons because there is a severe lack of representation and diversity within the nerd space in general. And if you're someone like me, you're a person of color, you want to see yourself represented in all the things that you like to watch and experience, right? I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I just made a place to make it more central and just talk about our issues and issues that mean something to us.
What kind of issues do we have?
Well, like being accepted within the nerd space. I don't know if you realize this, but it's not always peachy in the nerd space. You would think a bunch of people who talk about Star Wars and Star Trek would get along. No, I ain't
gonna lie to you. I kind of thought it was like
no.
Everything I've experienced has always been like really like opening and welcoming.
No, it is.
But
not.
I would imagine
it is not, especially like in the cosplay space. Like the amount of harassment and abuse I saw black cosplayers and people of color get at like Dragoncon. Hanada isn't black, or you can't cosplay this character because they're white, when really that character is an anime character, so that it's Asian. Why are you even cosplaying them if you believe that? It's a lot of stuff that my channel has been bringing to the forefront, and we've just been discussing and talking about. Like there's a lot of racism within the geek community. It's not so open and welcoming as you think it is. There's a lot of sexism in the geek space too. But
You can definitely see that.
yeah, because so yeah, Blerdography is a space where you can see yourself and other people like you be represented.
Okay, cool. Blerdography sounds good. Where can people find you online?
You can find me everywhere at Blerdography. I am Blerdography on every single platform. I am big on TikTok, big on YouTube, big on Instagram and Facebook. And I have a podcast, you know?
Oh, I did know. Yeah.
It's called Blerdcast because I'm original.
Birdcast with the K.
Blerdcast with the K. Blerdcast with the K because I'm in Atlanta and Outcast is a thing. So there you go.
Okay. That's pretty cool. So, YouTube, Instagram, are you on X?
Yes, I'm on X. I'm not that active on X because, it's Twitter sucks.
Yeah, I don't really get on Twitter. This thing's kind of dope. Like, I downloaded it, I re-downloaded it, and got on there again. I was like, Twitter kind of, I could see how you could be interested in it. It's not my thing, but I do see how people could like it.
Once you get around the corn, yeah. Corn?
Okay.
Corn with a
I guess I ain't really, guess I ain't dug that deep yet. I ain't dug that deep. But I've heard it's a lot on there, though. This is not new information. I'm not acting like, what's that? But I've heard it is a lot on there. Which is another reason I'm shocked. I didn't know it was like that on, I'm still calling it Twitter. I ain't know.
No. I'm still calling it Twitter too. Yeah, X is so weird. It's weird.
Stupid name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was like that. All right.
Okay. I'm gonna save my thoughts for when the camera's not rolling on that one.
I'll save mine too, but I mean, it's interesting. I just didn't know that was it was going off like that on Twitter. I'm be honest with you.
It's going off like that on Twitter. But I'm also on Spotify where you can listen to my podcast, Blerdcast.
Okay. When can people find new episodes?
New episodes of Blerdcast will be out every Saturday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, every Saturday.
What kind of things are on there on the podcast?
Well, I do a lot of interviews with people in the geek space, like other creatives, mainly comic book creators, because that's kind of who's flooding me right now. But I also do other interviews with other Black creatives. I just had Ty from Black and Culture on. That was such an amazing interview, talking with her about just being a woman in the blurred space, and just, oh my gosh, she was such an inspiration to talk to. I need to kind of be more like her, to be honest.
Cause this was out already?
Yeah, it's out. It's on YouTube.
Take a listen. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that came out a couple weeks ago. I will be I will be posting the interview I did with Roy Evans Mitchell. What is his name? Roy Mitchell. He's the owner of the Urban Nerdcon. That was a great interview. And even some of the interviews I have with like comic book creators, they have a lot of interesting things to talk about, especially when it comes to launching indie comics and working with Kickstarter, working with publishers, working with other artists. My last two interviews were really kind of blew my mind, just hearing some of the things that they are talking about with working with publishers and other artists and things like that. So, yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. And I also have like other just like stuff to talk about, like the King the Conqueror thing. That was a interesting topic.
Oh, I bet it was.
Yeah. And again, that's going back to another question you said, like what other things do I talk about that affect Black people in blurred culture? So like, yeah, Jonathan Majors getting canned by Marvel because of his personal life. It
was pretty big though, right?
It was pretty big. And
I mean, you wouldn't have canned him?
Yes, I would have, but I would have did it better. Well, not better.
How do you do it better?
That's a good question. That is a good question. How do you do it better? Well, the whole thing goes into the bigger MCU problem. To be honest, I really don't know.
So are you, and I'm normally assuming, but were you mad about the decision then, or just upset it happened, period? I think I was just upset it happened, period.
I'm upset that it happened, period. But also it felt like Marvel jumped the gun just a hair. Just a hair.
I feel as if they did too. Well, I don't know, I'll admit I'm a little disconnected from like the general public audience. So I don't.
Right,
They
right.
would get like a lot of like backlash and like, hey, I'm stopping Disney if you support. But people say that about every Disney movie nowadays because they're doing so much gender swapping and race swapping that people are boycotting Disney stuff already.
Yeah, but some of that stuff you can ignore. Like when people say, "Oh, I'm canceling my Disney Plus subscription because The Little Mermaid is black," that's kind of more of the consumer issue, not Disney's issue. But with the Jonathan Major thing, I felt like
I think it's the same thing. You do? Because it's still a consumer. Well, I think I see what you're saying, but I still feel like it's dictated by the consumer, though. That's what I'm saying.
I get that. But like they didn't not make The Little Mermaid black because a few people had an issue with it.
True. Okay, I feel.
That's what I was getting at. Like they still went with it, they still did it, and it's a fictional character. Why does the color of her skin matter?
In the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
Like the original white girl mermaid made less sense than this one.
Exactly. Where's the Juju?
Get up out of here.
With red hair. All right. In the ocean. All right.
Anyway,
Cool. All right.
But I'm not defending of. I ain't even seen the movie yet. But I'm just saying
it is
on paper,
not great.
I'm sure it's not. I am sure it's not.
Now Halle Bailey was amazing in it.
I'm sure she was. I heard some snippets of her.
Yeah, but the I don't know what the F Disney is doing with this live action remake of their classics. It is not working for them.
I don't know, man. They making good money. It looks like. I think to like our generation that's grew up on the originals is not working, but new little kids, they don't know the old. So they still making hundreds of millions in the box office. Like Lion King looked so bad.
It did.
In the trailer.
It did.
But that movie made, I don't know the number, but a lot of money though. Just like I think Little Mermaid made a lot of money. Like, don't let the comment section fool you. Of these, they still making money, I think.
I mean, yeah. So did the Star Wars movies that Disney did. They made a lot of money too, but were they good movies?
I don't think Disney cared. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And that's the problem I have. They're not caring with the content they're bringing out.
I think they care, but it's a secondary. It's not. It's second to how much money it makes.
Okay, well, let me.
They tricked us. That's different because you don't know it's.
They did trick us. They did trick us.
Like, you were mad at the second Star Wars movie, but you was like, all right, they're going to fix it in the third, so you kind of hooked to watch the last one. You don't know it's horrible to after you paid to see that, and it's like, oh, crap, they got me. They got me 3 movies. 3 tickets for this bull.
I can't, you know what, you just brought back an awful flashback from watching The Rise of Skywalker. I was like, oh, why?
It was so horrible, but I had hope they're going to fix it in the last one.
They did not. Oh my God, that's a whole other topic.
Got distracted, but yeah.
No, but yeah. Getting back to the point, I think you're right. They do care about the content, but they care more about the money it's going to make, and I think that's what's driving their decisions to make the content that they're making, and they're missing the heart that was the reason why we fell in love with these franchises and things in the first place before Disney got the grubby little grits on it.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I'm just saying, I think that content, movies, all that stuff, they're just in a weird place right now. Like, they don't really know what to do. They used to making one movie fits all. They used to making, I know we brought this up already, but they used to making the one Little Mermaid, she white, everybody cool, fine, that's what it is, but now any move they make, they're going to get backlash from somebody. You make a black mermaid, other groups are mad. You make an Asian mermaid, now other groups are mad. It's like you can never be right. You know what I mean? So I think they're in a complex place. Everything is Warner Brothers, Disney, just every content in general. Like nobody knows how to just focus in their lane and just do your job. They're so still trying to please everybody. It's hard to do, I think.
I agree, but I think it's hard to do because of the time we live in, after
everybody got a voice.
Yeah, everybody got a voice now. Black Lives Matter movement, Me Too, cancel culture, being too woke, being not woke enough, DEI, the state of Florida in general. I'm just leaving it at that. Florida is a weird place. Like we're on the brink of World War III.
They are. Like, for real.
Right. It's a lot of stuff going on, and everybody got a voice. Everybody has a platform. The internet has turned the entire human civilization into trolls. if you want to consider it like
it has, man. It has. Like common sense ain't even common no more. People just
common.
It's just mob culture.
Yeah, it's mob culture, definitely. Because I remember telling you about when I started Blerdography, I was worried about calling it Blerdography because people would be like, "Oh, what? You just only going to cater to black people?" And then I made Blerdography and didn't cater to nobody black for like the first year.
Yeah, right. Yep.
So that's weird, right? It's weird. I can't. That's a whole nother thing. Jesus Christ.
We'll get into it.
We're gonna get. We
got way distracted. Let's wrap this up. I like to finish it off with my rapid fire content creator, photographer, person, thing questions. I got 7 of them. You're the first person I'm trying this on, so I'm gonna kind of. This is the concept of this, right? All right. When we wrap up, I'm just gonna ask you these 7 questions that kind of like one or the other. So just answer one or the other.
All right.
So you ready?
Yeah.
First question: Android or iPhone?
Android.
All right. Question number 2. Would you rather have a battery that lasts forever or an SD card that never fills up?
Oh, that's a good one, man.
I don't even answer, to be honest with you.
Oh, because on the one hand, a battery that lasts forever, you can just keep shooting for days, but then a memory card that don't fill up.
Yeah.
Because I've been in those situations. Like, I have battery grips. Like, I told you this, the best piece of equipment I ever bought were battery grips, just because I could put bam batteries, shoot all day. And then I got the one where you can put the extra memory cards in there. You can just shoot all day. Oh my God, that's a good one. Can I have both? Because you need both. You need both. All right.
Cannot have both.
I will have to go with a battery that shoots all day because it's rare you fill up a 64 gig memory card, even though I just did that 4 times in one photo shoot back in February. 5,000 pictures, dude.
Goodness gracious.
5. This was little girls dancing in little dresses.
Okay, that can get out of hand.
Yeah, it was like 60 of them, but it did get out of hand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd rather have a battery because like once them batteries die, you can go get another memory card from Walmart. And rarely you should fill up a 64, 128 gig memory card. Rarely you should fill those up. Especially with just doing pictures. I get videos. Videos, you can fill that up. Yeah. But with pictures, like, I rarely have filled up memory cards. But yeah,
you're right.
I'll take the battery just for the sake of battery. Yeah, I'll take the battery.
Even with doing video, I'd pick the battery.
Yeah.
Still. So okay. Question number 3. Would you rather have 1,000 loyal followers or 100,000 random followers?
That's another good one. Because
that was a big jump in random.
Yeah, but like 100,000 is just a number, and that number doesn't mean anything if they're not engaged with your content.
That's true, but you're gonna get a certain number of engagement.
That's true, but those 1,000 followers that comment on everything will do more for the algorithm in your content than just having a big view count, subscriber count.
I think that's true. So yeah,
1,000. I'll take 1,000 engaged subscribers that like comment and like and share every video.
Okay. Question number 4: would you rather have one client that's a pain in the ass but pays you 10,000, or 10 easy clients that pay you 1,000? They both equal 10,000.
Oh, that's easy. Give me the one client that's an asshole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I want the other.
No. All right. I can explain the answer if you got time.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Again, not you told me this, but Ty Turner told me this. It's good to have one client that pays you a lot of money because they'll always keep you busy. Even if they're an a-hole, you eventually learn how to work with that a-holeness and work around that.
I feel you on that. I do hear you. I hear you.
Because then you got 10 clients that's paying you $1,000. Like, yeah, but now you got 10 times as much work versus just that one client. Right. So I'd rather have that one client that's paying me $10,000 and they're just an a-hole.
Okay, I'm still choosing the 10, but I feel you.
Okay.
Number 5, long form or short form videos?
That depends on the subject matter, doesn't it?
I ain't go that deep. I just wrote long form.
No, but that really depends on the content. Like if I'm doing a podcast, long form, obviously.
What do you prefer? You could only stick to like TikTok for the rest of your life, scrolling little 30-second, 15-second clips, or YouTube 10, 15, 20-minute videos.
I'm gonna be honest with you. YouTube is a fad.
You think so?
I'm not YouTube. I'm sorry, TikTok. TikTok is a fad. It's a strong fad. Don't get me wrong, and it is changing the industry. But like, look at Vines. Look at what was that other one? Snapchat.
Yeah.
Look at all the other things that came before it. And look at what TikTok is doing right now. That's not really helping themselves when it comes to like the US ban and all that stuff. The European ban.
Not on.
I know it's not on the format, but like, look at how damaging TikTok is. Like, TikTok, algorithm feeds your eternal emotion. It doesn't help you mentally. It does not help you mentally. Like, whatever triggers you, that's what the FYP page is going to give you. The only reason why TikTok works now is because people don't have attention spans.
Well, yeah, that's why it's working though, because people ain't got them. It's only gonna get shorter.
I mean, that's true, but it's also it's causing people attention spans to just remain short. If people, even though they got like 10-minute long videos and stuff like that, I rarely watch 10-minute long videos on TikTok.
You do have long videos. I ain't know you can do that on TikTok, but there's some long videos, man.
Yeah. Because, like TikTok's thing is they're trying to compete with YouTube and take away their revenue while YouTube is trying to compete with TikTok and they're doing shorts and all this. Mm-hmm. It's so weird. I'm going to say long form I'm going to say, I'm going to say long form just because I am the type of person that I can stay engaged and keep an attention span, just me personally.
Okay, I feel you. I think I agree. Which one do you like to shoot?
Long form.
I feel. Okay. Last question. You just left a shoot with an important client. On the way home, would you rather lose all your equipment or all your SD cards and memory?
Oh, my God. For the record, between the end of a photo shoot and you get home and you upload those memory cards is the scariest time ever. Because I'm going to be honest, during that time, I'd rather have someone come and rob me, take all my gear. As long as they leave me them SD cards, I can go back them bitches up. Sorry for cussing, but as long as I can go back them bitches up, take the camera, take my card. No, don't take my car. That's a brand new car. Yeah, I'd rather have all my gear stolen in that like time between the end of a photo shoot and I can get home and upload, because like
I think I'd choose the same.
The terror, I think, is more terrifying to go back to that client and say, I don't have a photo shoot for you.
Even if you tell them you got robbed, they still don't want to hear.
Oh, they don't care. They don't care. That's just a personal problem.
Right.
They just dropped $1,000 on a photo shoot. They want them pictures. First of all, they want the pictures as soon as you hit take the last picture.
Right.
They want the pictures.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Never fails. Oh, so when the pictures are going to get done, I swear to God, you sign the contract? At the very top of the contract, it says, the first sentence, photos will take X amount of weeks. Very first sentence on the contract. Oh my God. All right. But yeah. Like, bro, I swear to God, every single time, that thing I did for you and Jessica, 2 hours it took me to get to from Columbus to Atlanta. Thunderstorm, raining, pouring down the whole time. Yeah. I'm like, I can't stop. I can't pull over. I turned on every safety feature in my car, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to drive up to Atlanta blind in pouring down rain to make sure I can back up these pictures. Because if I had to call your wife, who I'm very much afraid of, and tell her something happened to those pictures.
Yeah, didn't her sister? Yeah.
That's smoke I don't want. I don't care who the client is. Like, Marcel, fears of being a business owner. That time frame between the end of a shoot and you can upload to your hard drives is the scariest time. I kid you not.
That is true. I back up to another drive. I keep it on the SD card and I put it somewhere online in the cloud.
Yes, I don't even
3 places.
I don't even format the memory cards after those shoots until the next shoot, and and only after because I got like 3 hard drives, got the cloud. Yeah, I got to have 3 copies of everything. And then even still, I just wait until, like, sometimes I don't even delete the memory card till the project is done.
No, I agree. Especially if I got another card, I'll just use that one.
Yeah. If I got, like, That's why that whole memory card question, like, yeah, it would be nice to have one memory card that lasts forever, but I actually need multiple memory cards for this other thing I'm afraid of. So yeah, all right. That was a good question, man.
That was a good question, right?
That should be a whole episode where you just do those quick fire things.
This is what happens with
Okay.
Try to think of some more. If you think of some, let me know. But yeah.
I will. But seriously, that last one scares the piss out of me every single time.
Yeah, like for real. Like, yeah, I don't even like stopping at the gas station.
Nope.
Because somebody come get my car and
nope.
everything in it.
You're right. I can't believe you had that
really
same fear.
Me. I have a story like I knew a guy that worked, Chet.
Yeah.
I remember Chet. He worked on the Kings of Comedy tour, and like Steve Harvey, like, he goes home with all the footage. It was him and like or something. So Chet and the other producer going home, they were on the same plane going back to Atlanta or something, wherever they were going to. And Steve Harvey comes up to him and he's like, hey, both of y'all can't get on this plane, man. And he put one of them on the plane and he told the other person they had to get on the next plane. Because he was like, if this plane goes down, we lose everything we just shot from the King of Comedy tour.
Right.
And he made the next, I can't remember if it was Chet or the next person, but he made that next person get on a different plane. Like they had to catch the standby for the next joint because you cannot afford to lose all the footage. And what are the odds of a plane going down, right? But still, you got to get on another plane.
Weirder things have happened.
No, that's true. Like it would be that night, right? That one night that you both got all the footage, both hard drives on one plane. That's the one time Delta go down in the last 50. Well, they probably went down more recently, but whatever.
But no, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway. All right, man. We done went over. We went a little over. Well, about an hour. But
it was a good episode, man.
I think it was a good episode. It was pretty good, pretty solid, brother. I appreciate you coming through again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for tuning into the Content Bebop, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.